Multiple times a year, we're given lighthearted, consequence-free films with forgettable antagonists, huge set pieces, and CGI-filled climaxes. Even for fans, it's become a little exhausting. Amongst all this noise came Logan's first trailer. 8 seconds into it, it's clear this is unlike any superhero film we've seen before. Johnny Cash's melancholy cover of Hurt, Logan's trembling hand, and Professor X's haunting question.
What did you do?
Logan, through the lens of a Western, confidently tells us what we think is important about superhero movies isn't. When any movie, especially a superhero movie, has an enormous budget, it's burdened with narrative expectations. If Marvel Studios kills off Iron Man, they expect his death to be an event, and more importantly, an event that fits into the MCU. He needs to save the planet, or the universe. I doubt we'd see Tony Stark gruesomely impaled by a tree. Recently, superhero movies have used shared continuity to great success. But in order to understand what's going on in Civil War, first you have to see Iron Man, the First Avenger, the Avengers, Iron Man 3, the Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man. There's something refreshing about a simple, standalone story. Wolverine's standalone movies have been hit or miss, to put it nicely. The first was X-Men Origins Wolverine, and it was muddled with tie-ins to the original X-Men films and setting up new characters for their own films. And if this is any insight into Fox's confidence in the character, Wolverine didn't even receive top billing in his own solo movie. But why bring up the worst Wolverine movie? Its mistakes amplify what makes Logan work so well. Logan, while part of the X-Men franchise, works as a standalone film. Unlike with Origins, the title has no mention of the X-Men, and it implies this is a story about the person, Logan, not the mutant superhero Wolverine. And who is Logan? He's broken, cynical, and coping with the consequences of heroism. His adamantium skeleton is slowly poisoning him, he's plagued by violent nightmares, and he's contemplated suicide.
I was thinking of shooting myself, like Charles said.
The first shot of the film is Logan passed out in his car, and the first action sequence isn't remotely heroic. He's killing men attempting to steal his car. Logan doesn't use violence to be dark or edgy, but rather to shape the world that these characters live in. Wolverine's brutality has always been muted in other X-Men films, but Logan vividly illustrates the effects Wolverine's violence creates through Laura and X-24. They serve as Logan's defining conflict between his humanity and his animal nature. When given the chance to help Laura, Logan declines.
We need a ride.
Not available. Call a cab.
After enduring a lifetime of trauma, he's turned his back on humanity. His only purpose is to take care of Charles. Something I always think about when I watch this film is how many times Logan must have thought, my life would be so much easier if Charles wasn't around. And it's that thought process that makes Charles's death at the hands of X-24 that much more heartbreaking. Charles is the last link to his superhero family, and it's implied that family was killed by Charles's seizures.
I remembered what happened in Westchester.
The myth of the X-Men lives on, canonized into comic books. Laura is inspired by their adventures, but Logan is dismissive.
You do know they're all bullshit, right? I mean, maybe a quarter of it happened, and not like this. In the real world, people die, and no self-promoting asshole in a f***ing leotard can stop it. This is ice cream for bedwetters.
In his view, romanticizing the team doesn't honor their deaths. In reality, heroes bleed, they kill, and they die. When speaking on Logan, Hideo Kojima said, "By ending an endless story, we can finally see the true meaning of life and death." Logan successfully depicts that. Its success is possible because of the way Hugh Jackman played the role of Wolverine for 17 long years. Logan is an ending, which is something we rarely see in comics and superhero films. We don't want the things we love to die. This isn't necessarily bad, but characters' stories continuing for decades on screen can diminish their significance and make them uninteresting. Usually actors stop playing a character, but the character continues on. And there will be another Wolverine. But by walking away, Jackman gave his version of the character the ending he deserves. Not every superhero movie needs to be an ending, or have characters die. But for characters who've appeared in these films for years, like the original Avengers, an ending would be the smart choice. Logan informed us how good a conclusion of a character can be. And after 70 plus superhero movies, Genre conventions have become so well known, audiences know what to expect. A hero, evil, training, a fight, and post-credits. Logan pushed the genre forward because it changed the dynamics of the superhero film at a time when it was needed. And pushing boundaries seems to be continuing with Wonder Woman, Homecoming, Ragnarok, all following Logan in 2017, and Black Panther's tremendous success this year. It's just up to studios to determine if more movies like Logan are worth the risk.